When we think of major U.S. cities like New York, Los Angeles, or San Francisco, images of towering skyscrapers, cutting-edge tech industries, and vibrant urban life often come to mind. Yet, beneath the shining exteriors of these bustling hubs lies a growing but often hidden issue: homelessness. Atlanta is celebrated as a dynamic center of business and economic growth, home to global giants such as Coca-Cola, Delta Airlines, and Home Depot. More recently, it has become a significant player in the tech industry, making it one of the nation's fastest expanding cities. However, beneath this prosperity lies a challenging reality. As of the most recent count, Atlanta has 2,679 individuals experiencing homelessness, including both sheltered and unsheltered populations. This represents a 17% rise in homelessness from 2020 to 2023. Nearly 48% of these individuals struggle with substance use disorders, and 67% are living with disabilities. Key factors include economic insecurity and a critical shortage of affordable housing, issues that persist despite the city's financial growth. Fort Worth presents a distinct but similarly complex picture. Rising unemployment rates have pushed many into homelessness as housing costs become unaffordable. A substantial portion of the homeless population also faces physical or mental health challenges, making it difficult for them to secure stable housing. Between 2020 and 2023, homelessness in Fort Worth increased by 31%, leaving nearly 3 out of every 1,000 residents without a permanent home. In response, local government coalitions and community partners are rolling out long-term strategies to address homelessness, with a focus on the 2,776 individuals currently in need of shelter and services. In San Antonio, the issue has taken on a more heartbreaking dimension, with a significant rise in homeless families. Among the 3,155 individuals experiencing homelessness, 18% are children. Family instability, often linked to domestic violence, is one of the primary causes of homelessness in San Antonio. Women and children in particular are frequently driven from their homes by abusive situations, only to face limited options for safe shelter. This has placed an immense burden on local shelters and social services, which are struggling to offer stability and security to some of the community's most vulnerable members. Houston's homeless population reveals a complex set of challenges, with 62% being men and 35% of adults reporting severe mental health issues, while 27% struggle with substance abuse. Additionally, a disproportionate number of homeless individuals are Black or African American, underscoring systemic inequalities within the city. From 2020 to 2023, homelessness in Houston increased by 18%, largely due to economic difficulties, housing shortages, and public health crises. Although local organizations are striving for sustainable solutions, the rising numbers emphasize the need for broader and more comprehensive initiatives. Minneapolis is facing a significant homelessness crisis, with approximately 3,312 individuals currently without stable housing, equating to around 7.8 homeless residents per 1,000 people. Particularly concerning is the vulnerability of youth, as 4 out of every 10 homeless individuals are minors. The scarcity of affordable housing for low-income residents has become a critical issue, leaving many on the brink of poverty without stable housing options in Minneapolis. Long Beach has experienced a dramatic 69% rise in homelessness since 2020, a surge that is especially troubling as 70% of the city's homeless population remains unsheltered, living on streets, in vehicles, or other temporary situations. Many homeless individuals in Long Beach face additional challenges such as family instability, mental health issues, or eviction-driven displacement. This sharp rise in homelessness points to deeper systemic problems within Long Beach's housing market and social support networks. Miami's homeless population, totaling 3,657 people, reflects a diverse range of social and economic factors. Many have become homeless due to rising rental costs, domestic violence, or specific struggles faced by veterans, seniors, and individuals with disabilities. The varied causes highlight the complex nature of homelessness in Miami, where economic disparities, combined with insufficient support services, have left numerous residents without secure housing. In Dallas, homelessness has escalated into a critical issue requiring collaborative solutions from the government, nonprofits, and community organizations. By 2023, the homeless population in Dallas and nearby areas like Collin County had reached 4,244 individuals. Veterans have seen a striking 21% rise in homelessness, alongside increases among homeless families and youth. This trend highlights the need for targeted interventions, such as mental health services and affordable housing programs that address the specific needs of these vulnerable groups. From 2020 to 2023, Fresno saw a 23% increase in homelessness, bringing the total to 4,493 people. While emergency shelters and transitional housing provide temporary relief, the issue remains persistent. The majority of Fresno's homeless population is male, but about 39% are women, with a small portion identifying as transgender or non-binary. This diversity within Fresno's homeless community underscores the need for inclusive policies that respect and address different gender identities and lived experiences. Philadelphia faces a significant homelessness issue with approximately 4,725 people affected, about 20% of whom are unsheltered. Economic hardship is a primary driver, as minimum wage earners in Philadelphia must work over 80 hours per week just to afford a basic apartment. Around 31% of the homeless population struggles with serious mental health conditions, and 20% face substance abuse challenges. Combined with economic stressors, these factors create formidable obstacles for individuals attempting to break the cycle of homelessness. In Washington, D.C., homelessness has reached concerning levels, with 4,922 individuals currently homeless, translating to around 7.3 people per 1,000 residents. The city's high living costs, compounded by job losses and mental health struggles, have pushed many into unstable housing situations. Among those affected are veterans, individuals with severe mental health issues, and people dealing with addiction. These high rates reflect the significant challenges marginalized communities face in accessing affordable housing within this increasingly costly urban environment. Boston's homelessness crisis is becoming increasingly severe, with a homeless population now reaching 5,202, a 15% increase since 2020. This rise is largely driven by skyrocketing rent costs, which have left many unable to afford basic housing. The widening gap between wages and housing expenses has pushed more people into homelessness, despite Boston's prominence as an educational and healthcare hub. The city faces persistent challenges in creating affordable housing options for its most vulnerable residents. Homelessness in Chicago and throughout Illinois rose by 14% from 2020 to 2023, bringing the total number to 6,139 individuals. The causes are multifaceted, with job loss, illness, and disability frequently contributing to homelessness. Racial disparities are also significant, with people of color, particularly African Americans, bearing a disproportionate impact. These challenges highlight deep-rooted inequalities within Chicago's housing market and social services, which continue to affect marginalized communities struggling with economic hardship. Portland is contending with one of the highest rates of homelessness in the U.S., with approximately 6,297 individuals lacking permanent housing in 2023, equivalent to 9.9 homeless individuals per 1,000 residents. Contributing factors include rising rents, a critical shortage of affordable housing, and widespread issues with addiction. Despite efforts to address the crisis, Portland's limited housing infrastructure and overwhelmed shelter system hinder meaningful progress, underscoring the urgency for sustainable solutions. Beyond its well-known casinos and entertainment, Las Vegas is home to a significant homeless population, totaling about 6,566 individuals as of 2023. High living costs make affordable housing inaccessible for many, while substance abuse and mental health issues further complicate the path to stability for those on the streets. The disparity between the city's wealth and the circumstances of its homeless population highlights a deep social divide that persists despite the area's economic success. San Francisco's homelessness crisis has reached alarming levels, with 6,566 individuals living without permanent housing in 2023, a rate of 10 homeless individuals per 1,000 residents. This marks a 24% increase since 2020, largely due to the city's extreme cost of living and severe economic disparities. Many of the homeless population face challenges related to addiction, mental health issues, or simply the inability to afford housing in one of the world's most expensive markets. Despite ongoing interventions, the scale of the problem remains daunting, with few immediate solutions available. Homelessness in Sacramento is also escalating, with a current total of 6,566 people living without stable housing. Rising rental prices have made it increasingly difficult for low-income residents to maintain housing, contributing to a homelessness rate of approximately 10 per 1,000 residents. In addition to economic pressures, mental health issues and substance abuse are significant contributors to homelessness in Sacramento. With shelters frequently at capacity, many individuals are forced to seek shelter in encampments or temporary arrangements, highlighting the city's urgent need for affordable housing solutions. Phoenix is witnessing one of the steepest increases in homelessness nationwide, with the homeless population reaching 9,642 in 2023, a staggering 30% rise since 2020. The city's shelters are often overwhelmed, and many individuals choose to stay on the streets, either due to perceived safety risks in shelters or restrictive shelter policies. Economic pressures, alongside mental health and addiction issues, are fueling this rapid growth in homelessness. Phoenix is now struggling to meet the escalating demand for housing and support services, as the crisis outpaces current resources and infrastructure. Oakland's homelessness crisis has reached unprecedented levels, with 9,759 people currently without stable housing, equating to roughly 22.7 homeless individuals per 1,000 residents, one of the highest rates in the country. The primary driver is the soaring cost of housing, which has left many low-income residents unable to afford rent. Compounding this issue are mental health challenges and substance abuse, which make it difficult for individuals to maintain employment and secure housing. This situation starkly highlights Oakland's widening economic divide, where prosperity for some contrasts sharply with hardship for others. In San Jose, located at the heart of Silicon Valley, homelessness has risen dramatically, with 9,903 individuals now lacking stable housing, a rate of 10.2 per 1,000 residents. The tech-driven economic boom has inflated housing costs, pushing them out of reach for many residents. Alongside these economic pressures, mental illness and addiction are common challenges within the homeless community. Despite the substantial wealth generated in Silicon Valley, high living costs have left thousands struggling to find stable housing, underscoring the area's deep-rooted housing affordability crisis. Denver is also grappling with a rising homeless population, with approximately 10,054 individuals currently without permanent shelter. Economic instability, job loss, and the difficulty of finding stable employment are major contributors to homelessness in the city. Domestic issues, including family instability and personal crises, also push people onto the streets. Despite Denver's economic growth, many residents face steep barriers to affordable housing, reflecting the city's growing divide between escalating living costs and the availability of support services. San Diego's homeless population, totaling around 10,264 people, mirrors Denver's in size but differs in underlying causes. With a homelessness rate of 7.4 per 1,000 residents, many individuals face the challenge of insufficient earnings to cover high rent and daily expenses, despite ample job opportunities. Additionally, mental health disorders and substance abuse complicate efforts to break the cycle of homelessness. San Diego's scenic environment and robust economy mask this growing crisis, which remains a significant challenge for local officials and service providers. Seattle's homelessness crisis is severe, with 14,149 individuals lacking stable housing, approximately 18.9 homeless individuals per 1,000 residents. The city's soaring cost of living, especially in housing, combined with widespread mental health and addiction issues, has left many residents unable to afford basic accommodations. The thriving tech industry has exacerbated the gap between affluent residents and those struggling with homelessness, as health challenges further limit employment opportunities, intensifying the city's homeless population growth. Los Angeles, famous for its entertainment industry and sunny weather, also hosts one of the largest homeless populations in the country, reaching 71,320 people in 2023. With a housing market where the average two-bedroom rent requires an income of approximately $48 per hour, affordable housing remains out of reach for many. Factors such as mental health issues, substance abuse, and the scarcity of affordable housing contribute to the crisis, making homelessness one of Los Angeles' most urgent social challenges. New York City, the largest metropolis in the U.S., faces a staggering homelessness crisis, with an estimated 88,025 individuals without stable housing in 2023, a rate of 10.6 homeless people per 1,000 residents, and a 13% rise since 2020. The city's high living costs and economic hardships have driven many into homelessness. Additional factors, including domestic violence, mental health issues, and an influx of refugees and asylum seekers, have overwhelmed New York's already strained shelter system, amplifying the need for expanded resources and support.